Hey everyone, this is Ray Carcillo, and in military terms, when a soldier is listed as Section 8, it means he has been discharged for being mentally unfit for duty. So I admit my curiosity was piqued when I heard this was the title of a first-person shooter being published by SouthPeak Games. The reason why the game is called Section 8 is less interesting and a lot more straightforward. You play as a special brand of Marine several hundred years in the future. These super soldiers are the first ones in and the last ones out of any situation, much like modern US Marines. But the squad is known as Section 8 due to their disregard for their own well-being. Oh, and one other minor detail. They are rocketed out of ships hovering several miles above planets at the speed of sound and usually crash land into terrain without pulling their parachutes. The Section 8 label makes a little more sense now, clearly. Of course, several hundred years in the future, their body armor protects them from such punishing collisions. But these guys wouldn't be deployed if there weren't some dangerous situations to deal with once they get planetside, and jetpacks, super body armor, and personal shields could avoid or stop every bullet or energy blast. No, these guys are the best of the best, and they are deployed for a reason beyond their suicidal tendencies. Section 8 as a game really just focuses on the multiplayer aspects, and the campaign mode is more a secondary feature or glorified tutorial. If you're looking for a single player campaign more along the lines of Halo or something, you'll be sorely disappointed. This game is all about the interaction with other people and changing strategies on the fly in between spawns, whether playing the very limited campaign or in multiplayer. The campaign mode, referred to as Chord Story, gives you just enough depth to explain the situation that the Section 8 squad finds themselves in, familiarize yourself with the futuristic weapons, and explain where and who you're fighting against. The campaign really shouldn't take you more than a couple of hours to blow through, as it's nothing more than a warm-up or practice mode before you get into the multiplayer, which is truly the meat and potatoes of the game. The look of the game is solid, as you'll find yourself in several different locales like abandoned military bases, lush jungles, and barren deserts. Still, the scenery is really just there to provide cover, as the heavy details went into the weapons, vehicles, and armor you find yourself fighting with. The best looking detail actually comes at the start of every level and multiplayer spawn when you are shot like a bullet from space right into the heart of the fight. The audio does a decent job with an original score and some okay voice acting, but is really there just to break up the monotonous sound of bullets flying everywhere due to the tremendous firefights you'll end up finding yourself in.
Cord, Graves, let's move out!
With up to 32 players in the battlefield at once, the multiplayer really impresses without a hint of lag, as you work to hack enemy consoles, assassinate enemy generals, and set up mobile bases and call in tanks for support against all possible foes. You can choose up to 6 different weapon configurations, or customize your own if the 6 provided don't float your boat. With a constantly changing battlefield and missions for bonus points popping up at random, the multiplayer will keep you entertained for a long while, as no situation is ever the same twice. If you're looking for an immersive single-player campaign experience with a huge background story, then you'll want to steer clear of Section 8. The selling point for this game is definitely the multiplayer, and so if you're a fan of first-person shooters with huge arenas and customizable settings, and devote hours of time towards the multiplayer function of most of your games, then this game is for you, if you can find it cheap, as it really feels more like a downloadable title like Blacklight Tango Down than a full disc-worthy game with such a paltry campaign mode.